I'd have to say that family is, to me, the closest thing to my heart. And I've always been taught religiously that you put the Lord first and family second, and that's really hard to do, and because family just means so much to me. My dad had an accident when I was 9 years old, and he was crippled the rest of his life. I was riding home from going to one of my other uncle's ponds on my bicycle, and I had a stringer of bluegill and bass tied to the handlebars, and this guy 3 or 4 houses up from me where I lived came out and stopped me and asked me where I'd been fishing and a bunch of questions. And he said, "You want to go fishing with me sometime?" Me and Sonny, which was his son, a couple years younger than me, he said, "You're welcome to come with us." And he was a really good mentor. He took me out, he taught me how to scull a boat, and he taught me we basically bluegill fished all the time. And I was probably 11 or 12 years old when I brought the bluegill by this log. A big old bass swam out and ate the bluegill and went the other way, and naturally with my little 202, it just the drag eked a little bit, and then my line broke. And right then I decided I was fishing for the wrong fish. When I first heard about Ray Scott and the starting bass and all that, late 60s, early 70s, I said, I'm doing this. I started in 76 and I got married in 77. My wife was very supportive. It was hard, but we never went without. When I first started fishing tournaments, I was pulling a $4,700 bass boat with a $500 truck, and I was sleeping in my truck. I had no money. It was scraping everything together I could scrape together, even taking out $1,000 loans and stuff to go fish a tournament. So it was a grind, but it paid off. I remember seeing a magazine. I think it was Tommy Martin was on the front cover of the magazine, and I pointed that magazine. I told my wife, "I'm gonna win that tournament." And she said, "You're gonna win the Bassmasters Classic." I said, "I am gonna win the Bassmasters Classic," and went on to win it in 1982. At about 83, I had to make a serious decision. I think I won another tournament in 83, and just, appearance request and everything that comes along with it was getting really strong, and I had to make a decision. So I turned the construction business over to my in-laws, and I started being a full-time professional. I think, the fortitude to say, this is what I want to do, when everything, like parents and everybody else, is telling you, man, you can't fish for a living, you gotta go to work. And my dad was funny because he was like, "Son, you gotta understand, you're good at this, but you can't make a living doing this. You gotta get a job." I had 4 kids pretty quick, and if I've got a regret in this whole process, it would be that I didn't spend enough time with my family when my kids were younger because of traveling so much. And I would give advice to younger pros that are getting started that I would, remember that, put the Lord first, family second, career third, and I didn't do that. I put my career in front of everything, and I know it was a big mistake now, but it's easy to get caught up in everything and then realize it at a later date, and I don't want to see anybody go through that because it's not good.